now tuned into the greatest.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast. It's actually been a whole month of nothingness. Like, I figured out something, If I don't do something, nothing will happen. So, actually recorded a couple of episodes with a bunch of friends of mine. They are actually excited to do the episodes, and it is really fun recording with my friends. But I don't know why I haven't been able to edit out the clips and the audio. So I decided that let me push myself. Let me try do 2 things at a go. So from today henceforth, as much as we'll be getting the experiences from other people in life, we'll be reading a book every Monday, and Wednesday we'll be reading a book, and we'll start off with Sadhguru's book. It's called Karma. In the introduction of the book, he tells us about this guy. He's called Shankaran Pillai. So Shankaran Pillai bought a boat, and it crashed in the and got wrecked. This was during his wedding when they were going out for the vacation. Funny thing, while in the wreck, the wife managed to get a few cans that they could eat that had the canned food, and they swam to let me call it a small island, because I don't want to use the hard English. So this small island didn't have trees or anything, so the wife was in shock. She was kind of frustrated. She was in that state of you get what I mean. So the wife was worried, but Shankaran Pillai was not worried at all. Sadhguru, actually, this is not the first time he's using this character. In the other 2 books, Death and in Engineering, he keeps on referring to this guy Shankaran Pillai. So the guy sat in a yogic posture, as in the crossed legs and relaxing. But the wife was all worried, moving up and down. Then she realized that the husband is all chilled, and she's like, why are you not worried? And the bliss of our marriage is coming to an end. And Shankaran Pillai tells the wife, you don't need to worry about anything. Why? Simply because I didn't tell you before. When I was in California, I took a student's loan. After taking the student's loan, I didn't pay it. Then I took a loan to buy for the car. I haven't paid it yet. I took another loan for buying the huge mansion. I haven't paid it. And you previously know that I purchased this $10 million cruise ship, which I haven't paid the loan yet. So these guys will come looking for us, so no need to worry. This is how Sadhguru explains to us what karma means, and this is the modern day what karma actually is. Shankaran Pillai knew that he will never be able to escape the debtors, the people who he took the loans from. So this is just karma explained in an anecdote. You cannot escape the consequences of the action. That is karma. So the purpose of this book is to explain the meaning of life and probably show you how to live it. The book has 3 sections. First section explores karma. The second section shows possibility. Sorry. I said the first section explores karma, but I didn't say as an entanglement. It explores karma as an entanglement. The second section shows the possibilities of freedom of entanglement from karma. And the final section of the book is about the questions that people ask Sadhguru about karma. And he says that some of the questions that you will hear from this might sound like your own questions. Some you might be going through. And he also says that there are actually no new questions asked by us human beings. The same old questions will be asked in time and time again. So we go to part 1. A note to the reader. This is just something before the actual part 1. Sadhguru actually means uneducated guru, and he doesn't mean uneducated as in from let's say like a scholar's deeper knowledge of spirituality. He says he's uneducated simply because of inner knowing. He knows that he doesn't know. Yeah, that's basically what he actually says. That's why his title is the uneducated guru. So while he's talking about karma, he's not talking about it in a scholar's point of view, like theoretically. He talks about it in a perceptive way, like in an experience way. This is from a point of perception, not from a point of concepts. There won't be concept used as much as it'll feel like these are actual concepts. They are actual. He's not saying they're concepts, but he's saying that this will come from perception and not a doctrine. It's not something that was written, but something that was experienced. He then goes ahead and tells us that karma is not our enemy. This is a note to self. Karma is not an enemy. So he says that in this book we will not be reinventing the wheel. Nothing will be new, but we'll be learning on ways on how to ride the wheel. Use the karma for benefit. So we go to part 1, the actual part 1. Karma, the eternal enigma. So he actually uses a few concepts like sadhana, sutra. I'll be explaining them as we go along, because he gives the definition of whatever word that he'll use, because I'm sure, and I've read in most of the books that I've read, they use a word here, or they explain something here, and it gets used up in the future. So Sadhguru usually says that this karma is an Indian word, but it's used throughout in the world in a way that people have put their own meanings to the word karma, which is not actually what karma means. He actually told us at the start of the book how karma is. You cannot evade the consequences of your action. That's what karma. So he says that sutra, as in he gives an anecdote. People wear necklaces not because of the string, but you can't have a necklace without the string. So he says that the point of a guru is to help you out with the string. So he says that sutra means a string. So this book will be a string, will be showing you the strings, and your purpose will be to see how the connection between the string and life. So he actually says the sutra number one. This is just part one. This is taking responsibility into your own hands. As in, people usually say, "Let God take the wheel." So Sadhguru in this part one, he's saying, take the wheel yourself. Let God do other actions. You just take the wheel. Take responsibility into your own hands and make your destiny. Don't wait for God to make your destiny. You take the wheel, then make your destiny. Then we go to in the driver's seat. It starts off with the story of the Pope and the Shofar. What happens to the Pope and the Shofar? So the Pope was the Shofar came to pick the Pope, and the limousine was actually very long. Like you can imagine a long limousine. So the Pope asks the chauffeur to let him drive, and the chauffeur is like, "You're the Pope, I can't refuse to let you drive." After that, the Pope starts driving, and his foot is heavy on the gas pedal. He goes over 70 miles per hour, then he goes to 100 miles per hour. If you're in Kenya, this is actually over 120 kilometers per hour. It's mad, man. You can imagine a limousine going that fast. So a cop usually will chase after them. So the cop stops the car, takes a gun, then approaches. After that, the Pope opens the window. The cop comes and checks and sees the Pope. Then he's like, "Wow, it's the Pope." Then looking behind, he sees there's someone being chauffeured by the Pope, and he's like, "Whoa." He goes back to the car and opens the radio, and he's like, "Chief, I've caught a big one. Can you guess who it is?" Then the chief starts making wild guesses. Bonnie and Clyde, no, much bigger. Al Capone, no, much bigger. What? Bigger? What do you mean bigger? The President of the United States? No, way, way bigger. And I'm like, what? Then he's like, the Pope is this guy's chauffeur. So that's when Sadhguru says, you can imagine the Pope being your chauffeur. How big are you in this world? So we go ahead and we get to a point where Sadhguru says that people don't know who are driving their own wheels. See the connection. I like how people start telling you the stories from the end, then takes you back to the beginning, then brings you back to the end. So like people don't know who's at the wheel, like who's at your wheel. You say it's God, you don't know who God is, you don't know who's at your wheel. So he's telling you, take the wheel to your own hands, take responsibility for your own actions. I'll give an anecdote at the end of it, but at the moment, let me just finish this up. So take responsibility for your own actions. Yeah. So after the story of the Pope and the chauffeur, he tells you people don't know who's at their own wheel, but karma in the end is what actually brings realizations to you. What do I mean by this? I mean that this karma is what brings you back to reality and shows you that you are the one who's on the driver's seat. You're the one making the decisions for yourself. You're the one who will take responsibility of your own actions. Okay, this is where I finish off from where we started to where we are right now. We'll continue the next part on Wednesday. But before we finish up, I'm going to give a small anecdote on whatever I mean by taking your own actions. So let's say I take a loan and I'm like, Mungu atanisaidia kulipa. That's God will help me. God will show me how I'll pay this loan. That's what I mean by when I say Mungu atanisaidia kulipa. So after taking up this loan, what happens is, yes, I have the loan, yes, I spend it. Even if I don't make profit or I don't take the loan to make money, in the end, I'll be the one who's paying this loan. You get it? This is what karma is. It brings you back to you being responsible for your own actions. If you get in debt, boom, that's just it. Anyways, if this is your first time, I hope you enjoyed and got to understand something. And if you're a member, welcome back. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure you follow me on my socials at sage_be me, as in BEME on Twitter, sage_be_muchachos on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next episode.